Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Selah. I'm a Michigan blogger and YouTuber. For those of you guys that are new here, I am a 2023 bride and I do a lot of different content on my YouTube channel as well as my TikTok and Instagram about wedding planning. So it was only fitting for me to share with you guys some of my favorite wedding planning tricks. So I know wedding planning can be super overwhelming and stressful, but it does not have to be. At first I was super nervous to hop into the whole wedding planning thing, and I was nervous of how stressed I was going to be and overwhelmed, but I kind of just took the bull by the horns. Is that the saying? I guess I took the bull by the horns, if that is a saying. Anyways, and I started planning early, so without that being a step, start planning as early as possible. Don't wait till the last minute for things, but we're gonna get into everything. I wanna help you guys as best as I can with some simple and super easy wedding planning tricks that anyone can do to make your life less stressful. If you find these tips super helpful or even a little bit helpful, give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to hit the bell so that you never miss another wedding planning content video. I would love to have you guys as a part of my channel, but I'm gonna stop rambling and let's get right into all the tips and tricks. So first things first is to have like a hard copy of a planner, specifically a wedding planner. I would suggest having like a day-to-day planner as well, just to kind of put all of your thoughts and everything that's going on down on paper. I know a lot of people like to have like Excel spreadsheets and PowerPoints and all of that, and whether or not that's easier for you, I still suggest you have like a hard copy of a planner just in case. You never know what can happen with the internet. You could lose your files. I don't know. I just find it easier and super helpful. You should definitely have a hard copy. And with that, I feel that everyone should have a place to store all of this. So this is actually my wedding planning bag. It has my new initial on it. My friends actually got me this, but I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that are in this wedding planning bag, so hopefully, or maybe that could be helpful for you. So this is my day-to-day planner. I've shared this in my what I got for Christmas video. Sorry if the ring light is kind of like bouncing off of this, but this is from Erin Condren. I will link the one that I have down below. It's super helpful, and I just write basically everything that has to do with my day-to-day life, but plus wedding planning. So it helps to have your wedding planning and appointments and stuff like that in both places. So whether it be your planner and your wedding planner, it's just good to have it written down in multiple places so that you will not forget. So just within this last month, I have my wedding dress appointment to pick up my dress. I have some church things that I have to do to get married in the Catholic Church. I had a premarital class. What else did I have? I have another dress appointment, and just a lot of things going on along with like day-to-day life appointments and work schedules and stuff like that. So it can get pretty crazy, so I suggest writing it down. And that might sound super obvious, but a lot of people don't, and what happens with that is your mind is so scrambled, and plus with everything going on in your day-to-day life on top of that with wedding planning, it's just too much. You need to write things down. It's like taking your busy life and putting it on steroids when you're wedding planning. It's everything plus more, so you need to write it down. So I actually have 2 wedding planning books, and this one is just off of Amazon, but this is like the best wedding planner in my opinion. I absolutely love it, and I again will have this link down below for you guys, but it literally has everything in here. So I have like my bridal party, I have, and I'm not gonna like show you guys the pages just because I have a lot written down and it's like personal information, but show you like a glimpse. It's just very organized, and my favorite part about this entire book is actually, I'll show you right now. One of my favorite parts about this book is it kind of gives you a timeline of like 12 months to go into your wedding, 10 to 12 months, 7 to 9 months, and it kind of maps out for you like kind of what you should be doing to stay on track for wedding planning. So what I really like about that is like obviously a lot of us are first time brides and or you're newly engaged and you kind of don't know where to start. This kind of tells you, and then you can check it off as you go. So right now I'm pretty much in the 7th to 9th month range, and normally I would either like just like do it at my own pace, which I suggest going by this book because it's very helpful and it kind of tells you exactly where you should be in the means of like having everything on track. So for 7 to 9 months, I know I still have to order my wedding cake, order my wedding dress and accessories and order bridesmaid dresses, and then book my transport. So since I am getting into February, which is what I wrote down here, would be I have to have all of that stuff down, so I know I have to get my transport and have my bridesmaid dresses taken care of, and also accessories with my dress and my wedding cake. So that's super helpful, and again, I just think it's a great idea to have a hard copy of everything. And then I also have a second wedding planner, just because what one wedding planner might have, the other one may not. So it's good to just have different things. Like this one actually had a better detailed list of for the guest list, so I could actually write down like everyone's address and everything to have like save the dates and invitations, and the other one did not have that. But then again, the first one that I just showed you has a lot that this one doesn't have. So maybe I would even suggest having two, or just play around with it. If you can find one that has absolutely everything you need, then that's the best case scenario. Another thing I wanted to mention for the second wedding planning tip is Pinterest is literally your best friend, you guys. Save absolutely everything from the second you get engaged. If you weren't one of those like crazy people, I wouldn't say crazy because I feel like every girl does this, but if you're one of those people that like had their wedding planned on their Pinterest board and saved from like years and years ago, then perfect. But if not, from the time you get engaged, go through Pinterest and save everything. Have a tab for your bachelorette party, your wedding shower, invitations, dresses that you love, color schemes, themes, everything. Pinterest is literally your best friend, and it even links stuff so you can find it straight from there, and it just gives you so much inspiration. And I just found this to be so helpful. I literally got the bouquets that I wanted from Pinterest. I found the wedding dress style. Just kind of play around with it and see what you do and don't like, because that's gonna unjumble your mind from being too overwhelmed, and really pinpointing what you like and what you don't like. So when you go to your vendors and you go to pick out your wedding dress, you kind of can narrow it down. So like I said, Pinterest is your best friend. If you don't have one, start a Pinterest, start pinning every single pin that you like and get some inspiration. The third thing that I want to stress, and this might be easier said than done, but I find this to be one of the most important things, and that is to create a budget and stick to it. One of the problems that my fiance and I had from the beginning is we really didn't sit down and have like an extreme budget, like we cannot go over this, and things kind of got out of control. And then a few months later, we really sat down and we're like, okay, this is what we can spend and this is what we can't go over. But we should have done that from the very, very beginning. Sorry, someone's pounding, or I think my neighbors are moving out. But we should have done that from the very beginning, which would have been smart. But find out what exactly you have to put away per month between you and your fiance. If your parents or your mother or father-in-law are giving you guys money for the wedding, then that's great. But if you are paying for it for yourself, like we pretty much are, put a budget aside for your wedding and treat that like a bill. So what I find really helpful is I actually write down in my day-to-day planner, not my wedding planner, I write in the amount that I need to put aside that month as like it's like an actual bill. Treat every part of your wedding and your finances and budget for your wedding like it's an actual bill. That way you get into the mindset that how important it is, and you will be able to put that aside. Don't push that to the back burner, because once it gets down to it, you are going to be 10 times more stressed trying to come up with all the final payments and put extra money aside for the wedding. So just stay on top of things as best as you can. What I also found helpful is, which you guys don't have to do this, it's everyone's own personal preference, obviously. My fiance and I actually, probably like a few months after we got engaged, we actually opened up a joint account to kind of create for the wedding. That way we could both put money aside each month for the wedding and have a specific place for it. That way it doesn't get lost in the mix of like our own debit accounts and stuff like that, and then we can continue to have that account after we are married. Again, you don't have to do that. It's just something that we found that was suitable for us and easy. But definitely treat your wedding budget like a bill each month, so that way you don't get overwhelmed. You guys do not want to be scrambling the month or a few months before and try to come up with all this money because you kind of just kept putting it off. You will be 10 times more stressed. Number 4 of my tips, I suggest creating a website early and updating it as often as possible. That way, as you come along through things and you find out like your timeline, you find out like who you picked in your bridal party, and you take engagement photos and all that, your registry, you can have that all in one place. And that way, as soon as you send out the save the dates, you will have like a place for people to go for reference, and they know kind of like what's going on with your wedding. They can start looking at your registry if they want to. Obviously they don't have to, but it's just a good thing to have like all of your stuff in one place and kind of have like a spot for everyone to go as well as yourself. Number 5, what I would suggest is to also stay in contact with your vendors that you choose and keep them updated on things that are going on. So let's say your ceremony gets pushed back a little bit or some changes happen with that. Let your photographer, your makeup artist, your videographer, your hairstylist, all those people know, and just kind of stay in contact with them. Don't like put all of this stuff on them when it comes like down to the line of the wedding. You want to kind of keep them in the loop, keep them updated. Also like build relationships with them if you can. Like I know for me with my photographer, like every time here and there when I post on my Instagram story about our engagement photos, I always make sure to tag her or like comment on her stuff. It's just a good thing. This is not like a must-have tip, but I just suggest it because it will make it so much easier when it comes down to the wedding and you feel more confident and that you know your vendors more. So it's just like something to keep in mind. I found that super helpful because going into this now, I like feel super comfortable around all of my vendors and they know everything that's going on. And along with that is definitely keep like a binder, which I haven't started making one yet, but I have already ordered like the templates on Etsy for the binder, and I'm going to keep like all of my vendor contact information in there, which I do actually have all the vendor contact information in my wedding planner, but I want it in a binder just so that all the vendors have that and they have each other's contact information as well. So I'm going to make like multiple of them and then just pass them out to each vendor as the day comes. But that you can worry about down the road. Like I said, I haven't started that yet, but that is in like my mental Rolodex to do, just because I feel like the most ways that you can make your life as easy as possible, you guys, start doing that as soon as possible. Because like I said, things just get crazier when you get closer and closer to your wedding. So you want to kind of like not spread things out, but make sure so it's not like coming down to it to where you have all these things to do and you're overstressing yourself. You want to kind of like just ease into everything, but also like get as much done and out of the way as you can, and like write everything down and make sure you're organized. That's not to say that you have to be like a type A bride or this super organized, crazy person when it comes to planning your wedding. I have definitely seen some things on like TikTok and everything of like these super organized girls, and I look at that and I'm like, wow, I thought I was organized, but like you don't have to do everything the way that everyone says. I'm just trying to make your life easier and tell you guys what kind of helped me, and I hope that these tips and tricks kind of helped you. And if you're wondering where to start, or you're in the middle of wedding planning and a few months in or getting close and you're a 2023 bride like me and kind of are at like this lull and don't know how to keep going and how to keep staying organized, then I hope this helped you, and I hope I could help you guys keep your sanity a little bit when it comes to wedding planning, because I swear it is like another full-time job. But anyways, if you guys, like I said, did enjoy these tips and they helped you out a little bit, please give this video a thumbs up. I love you guys and happy wedding planning. I'll talk to you guys in my next video. Bye guys.